Hi friends, once again welcome to new video, new topic. Girish, Braintrain. The best time to plant a tree was 10 years before. It's a famous saying. The best time to plant a tree was 10 years before. Why? Why? Because had you planted a tree, sowed a seed, or planted a sapling 10 years before, now you could have taken the fruit, the benefit, the yield. So it's very true. The best time to plant a tree was 10 years before. So we all feel so sorry that we didn't do that. We missed that opportunity. People around us are really catching hold of opportunities well in time, and we don't do that. We feel bad about it. But don't feel bad, because that is a first best opportunity. You always have a second best opportunity, which is very important. Rather, more important is the second best opportunity to plant a tree. That is today, now, straight away. And if you do that now onwards also, 10 years later, you can take the fruit. Or there is one more good thing. As time grows and as time goes, we improve technologically, scientifically, and personally also. We will be able to take the fruit of a tree within 7 years if you do it now, or even 5 years. So don't regret that we missed this first best opportunity. You are not in the minority, you are in the majority, because majority of people normally would miss the first best opportunity in life. But catch hold of the second best opportunity is a very important thing. So the best time to plant a tree was 10 years before is fine in principle, but catching hold of the second best opportunity, that is today, now, and straight away, is more important. And if you do not miss that, you are really smart. There is no time limit for that. Any time you can consider it a second best opportunity, at any age, at any stage. Don't worry, don't bother about the atmosphere or condition or conduciveness of the situations. Any time is your time. At any age, you can start something all afresh. Age is no barrier, time is no barrier, your situation is no barrier. Now, what you require is self-imposed aim and self-imposed determination and enthusiasm to see and go ahead. Now, I was reading recently in a newspaper or in Facebook somewhere about a person who was working in one of the Emirates in Gulf. He is an ordinary person working as a confidant, a servant, a home assistant. So many years he was working in an aristocratic Arab family. Maybe 40-45 years now. He started at a very early age of his, maybe at 17 or 18, and served the same masters for so many years. He became part and parcel of the family. Nothing in that family was happening without his presence. He was considered as an equal family member. Almost 4 generations of the family had very close bond with him. And he was a very important, very prominent member in the family. And he was also very honest, very committed. As a very honest person, very committed. And for him, this is his family. So what happens is, in the process of being honest and committed, he even forgot during this period of 40 or 45 years of his service to go back to his native place. Even his marriage is very late. He got married very late, and he had 4 children, 3 girls, and the youngest one is a boy. They have not reached anywhere. They have still not reached their destinations, still in schools. Unfortunately, this old man, at the age of 57 or 58, he was feeling so unwell. He was feeling sorry that he could not serve the family anymore as sincerely, as seriously as he has been doing, because of illnesses. He had a list of a plethora of illnesses, and most important is his eyesight was getting poorer and poorer. So ultimately he decides to quit. Even if he has not accomplished anything for his family back home. He was in a compulsion because of his poor health condition to resign and go. So he informs his masters that he is intending to resign and go. They also felt bad because they know that this person being very honest, and another speciality of this person is he never accepts anything, he never asks for anything which is undue to himself. So unless he feels so sincerely that he deserves it, he will not accept or even demand. So such a person, they all know that they have not accumulated much for his family when he retires at the age of 58. They are also realizing it now. So they asked him not to do it. Continue, because we still can take care of you, don't worry. So he said, no, I don't want to be a burden for you anymore. If I am not able to serve you properly, that is the time for me to quit, I am doing it. So however hard they tried to compel him to continue, he was bent upon resigning, just because he realized that he could not serve them anymore well. In between, they offered him double salary suddenly. They offered him double salary. If that is a problem, please, we are offered, because sorry we forgot, but we give now double salary. Even that didn't allure him. So in between, what happened is a lantern, a glass lantern of the family fell from his hand and broke. And the master, the eldest of the family, the Arab, he got a little furious. He told, see, now you are irresponsible. You broke this lantern which we have been keeping for generations. This is a priceless possession of ours. You wrecked it. So please compensate it. So he also felt it's very relevant to compensate it, but unfortunately he didn't have the resources to pay for the value of the perished lantern from his hand. So they come to a settlement that you work for a period which will suffice for the compensation to be attained from you. They decided to be 4 years of his service. For 4 years more, if he serves, the compensation, the price of the lantern, the precious lantern, will be covered. They agree, and forgetting all his illnesses, as he is indebted for that much of amount to the masters, he works with a renewed enthusiasm and renewed fervor, because there is now an aim for him, a target for him to achieve. He has to pay off somebody a debt. He continues there, works for 4 years, and those 4 years he was working with better health. And the masters are also very happy. At the end of 4 years, when the debt is over, he once again said, I'm leaving. I'm going back home because the rest of the time I want to spend my family. I didn't spend much time with family, and again I am getting older and older. So the Arab family decided to send him off with a decent post-retirement benefits and all that, and they considered that offered double salary from his time of first inclination to retire. So he carried home a good amount and a good life and a great gratification of having served a family, served his masters quite well. So see, at that age, actually that lantern was not a very costly one. It's a very old thing which can be kept aside by any consideration. They used it as a tool of holding him back, because the masters, the family knew that if this man goes now, he will be going to real problems and financial restrictions. So they didn't want that to happen to him. At the same time, at that time, 4 years before when he retired, if suppose they offered him something, he would not have accepted it, because his pride would not have allowed him to accept. So they know him very well. So they had only this way of holding him back and keeping him well. So he also was blessed with that idea, because 4 years, and regardless of his poor health, he was performing well, and health also was really in good shape once again. So age, what I am tell you is, age is not a barrier. Any age, if you have an aim, a target, a wish, you can go ahead and achieve anything in life. That's what we see our elders in families, they're very old people at their 80s or 90s even. They put forth a wish, I want to see the marriage of my grandson or granddaughter. We all know it's not worldly possible for his age, but sometimes it happens. There is the power of that wish a person has, the power of self-imposed targets a person has. So it happens, and failures also. When we are in the process of going to achieve the second best time of planting a tree, doing something all of us in life, failures is another constraint which is going to hold us back. Failures also is not a big problem. When you fail, actually, when you are victorious, when you win, you celebrate and go to a long slumber. But when you fail, when you lose, you learn. You restructure your plans. You rebuild your strategies and rejuvenate yourself and for the next opportunity. So losing also, failing also is a qualification, not a disqualification. Now, friends, as for age, there are quite so many examples of people starting endeavors, enterprises, corporates even, at an early, later age, 50s or retirement ages. Now, I can remind you of Lee Iacocca. You must all be knowing who is Lee Iacocca. He was the president of Ford Motors in America. He joined Ford Corporation in 1946, and in 1978, from a company he spent 32 years. He was so unceremonially kicked out by his then MD, Henry Ford II. That was unexpected for him. After a long period of non-confidence and loggerheading, unfortunately, one on a fine evening, Lee Iacocca was kicked out by Henry Ford from his company. He was 54 years old then. At that stage, when he was 54 years old, because in those days, life expectancy was still lesser than today. So 54 is almost old age. So at an old age, at a retirement age, somebody was kicked out as a failure. He is a defeated man. So he'll be going back home absolutely discomfited. And he will be a symbol of failure for the world. Having spent 32 successful years in a corporate, single corporate, and was instrumental in bringing up to a huge stage. Ford Motors, it's one of the motor giants in the world, even today. So he was aghast. But at that age, he knew that nobody would take him seriously again. But what he did is, he immediately, within 2-3 months, he joined a ailing sick unit, Chrysler Motors, same in Detroit. He joined Chrysler Motors, which was a sinking company, almost in docks it was. But he revived the company, resurrected Chrysler Motors to big status within 3 years. And he continued there for another 14 years. And he proved himself. See, at that age, normally people will go back home totally defeated and dismayed. But he knew that still there is a youth for him to prove. He did that. Lee Iacocca. His biography, autobiography is available in bookshops or in online. You can read and understand this. Colonel Sanders, again another American name you may have not heard, but definitely you would have heard about KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Colonel Sanders is the person behind Kentucky Fried Chicken. Colonel Sanders made his recipe, chicken recipe, his mother's chicken recipe, in fact, the most sought after delicacy of chicken all over the world. KFC is a big corporate today, and Colonel Sanders started KFC at the age of 60. I refer that in media. We have had quite a few politicians in our own land, chief ministers, ministers, prime ministers, having started their office at the age of 55 or 60 and contributed very significantly to the nation and national interest. We have in Kerala, in our nation also. And see, age is not a factor for you and me to start something all afresh at any age is not at all a problem. All the best.